Hello, beautiful people. Happy day. Yay. Welcome to the Power of Gratitude with your hostess, Shilamida. I have decided to do this live on Facebook because there are so many new people to my world that I thought it would be fun to go through the power of gratitude with everybody because who can't use this magic? So I don't know if I'm going to be able to see comments. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But please leave them. Let me know that you are here. Say hello. Let me know your thoughts all the way through. I do go back and I will check everything. And if you are here with me live, say hello. If you're coming in on the replay, say hello. And just let me know that you were here. It's been a while since I've done Facebook Live, so I don't know what's happening, how the notifications go. So we're just going to do it and have fun with it. Hi, Heather. Oh, yay. I'm seeing comments. That's amazing. I love that. Okay. So let's do this. I know that we don't have a lot of time. People might be in their workday. Hi, Lee. People have busy lives. So I'm going to drop a whole bunch of nuggets for us today. And hopefully this gives you enough activation, motivation to end off the year really strong. For those of you that are new to my world, welcome. Let me know where you're here from. I have been in the online space for a minute. I released my first book in 2017, so I think I've been on and off in this world for a while. Hello, beautiful people. I'm so happy that you're here with me today. And the whole basis of my life is gratitude. And so, what I wanted to start today's class with, for those of you that are new to my life, you have entered into winning season of my life. So, if you're here on a daily basis, you will see I live a very amazing life. What you need to know about this life that I live is that this entire life has been manifested by gratitude. And I have the proof to show it. This little journal right here is from 2009. And if you go through it and you read my gratitude, you will see the life that I am living now was created by me and God, source, universe, whatever it is that we believe in. If you don't believe in anything, what you need to know is that we are made up of energy, right? So energy cannot be destroyed, and energy is like a force, right? So if you don't believe in a greater source, there's got to be some kind of belief around energy, and that energy moves. And if you don't believe me, what you could do is, if you're sitting next to someone, or even if you're sitting with yourself right now, you could put your hand over your hand without even touching your hands, right? And you're going to start to feel the heat. Now, if you're sitting next to someone and you're doing this, you can do the same thing. You're going to feel that person. A lot of times you can feel a person before they even walk into a room, right? So how does that happen? That happens because of an energetic frequency that is pushing us all along. Hello, Monica. Hello, Sonia. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Danielle. Okay. So what you need to know, this journal was started in 2009. So I was about 27, 28-ish at the time. My oldest, who's now 16, was 9 months old. I started on my spiritual journey when I was 23. The first thing that I learned about was Kabbalah. After Kabbalah, I was still seeking. So I started learning. And I love all of the Hay House authors, right? Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, Doreen Virtue when she was still a part of that world, Deepak Chopra, right? And what I was learning from everybody was that there was a common denominator. And that common denominator started with The Secret, right? So tell me how many of you have heard of The Secret, have read The Secret. If you have not, go do that now, okay? Because if you start from the beginning where I started, this might all make sense, right? But I got to tell you that since The Secret, there's been so many people, so many authors, so many different energies that have recreated this work, but it all stems back to the same thing. It is the words, I am grateful. Those three words are the most powerful, magical words that you will ever use in your entire life. Now you can say to me, but I'm grateful. Right? I have a lot of people say that to me, but I am grateful, right? And I get it. People are grateful, but my question to you is, are you grateful at least 20 times a day? I am grateful at least 20 times a day. Are you consciously stopping in the middle of your day to be grateful? Are you consciously, intentionally setting yourself up for a great day? Are you consciously and aware of changing up your routine and really living in the moment, in the now? I can tell you, I've been doing this a really long time, but living in the now hadn't happened until the last 2, 3 years, right? So as we grow and evolve, the expansion becomes bigger, the manifestations start to become bigger because you're able to start holding a lot of the things. So ego mastery, emotional intelligence is a big part of the game, right? So I've been with my partner, lover, for the last 12 years. If you go into my little handy dandy book here, you will see the manifestations of the love that I have right now. Has it always been unicorns and rainbows? And were we always so in love with each other? I mean, we've always been so in love with each other because that soul, unconditional, true love, he's just so good, is always there. But are we human? Do we annoy each other? Is it hard to live together? Is it hard to be with one another? I mean, we went through a whole period of time where I was so successful in my business that I was very much in the masculine. So here's my masculine lover who is now with a very masculine woman. That doesn't really work, right? That is going to put a strain on any relationship. There were years that my lover and I didn't sleep in the same bed together, right? So when you're seeing everything now on the news feed, on the scroll, and you're like, she's so annoying. He's so annoying. Why do they have? Why don't I don't have? Why isn't this working? Why isn't that working? Because you're too busy focusing on them instead of focusing on you and focusing on the gratitude of the now. And it's all within the language, it's all within the knowing. So the very first book that I ever wrote is called 31 Days of Gratitude, Create the Life You Desire. Why did I write this book? I wrote this book because when The Secret was telling me to be grateful, I was 250 pounds. I was living on food stamps. I wanted to leave my ex. I didn't have the courage. I didn't know what my next step was going to be. I was living in a life of misery. And I was like, what the hell do I have to be grateful for, right? And I know that somebody watching this can totally relate. Now, for those of you who are more spiritually advanced, or for those of you who didn't have, you could say to me, well, you were a mom, you should be grateful. You were alive, you should be grateful. You had an apartment, you should be grateful. Yeah, we should be a lot of things, right? And the reason why I was as miserable as I was is because I wasn't doing the things that I should be doing, right? So this is where we have to come in with non-judgment, because we need to understand that we're human beings, and the whole point of this human experience is to try things, to make mistakes, to figure out what we like, what we don't like, to taste, to touch, to see, to smell, right? Like all of these senses. This is the whole reason why we're alive, is to experience the senses. And so when we came here with these contracts of things that we wanted to accomplish while we were here. And so in doing that, things are going to happen in our life that are not so good, that are really hard, that we think it's like the end of the world. We're never going to make it. But what we need to understand is that those are the things that are leading us to the big things that we're manifesting. So you may have forgotten that when you were, 12 years old, you put this huge request out into the universe, and your whole entire life has been taking you back to that moment. And so the gratitude piece is what connects us to the creator. Anything you say after I am is what the universe, the energetic force, God, whatever it is that you think that it is, that is the energetic creation, right? I am beautiful. I am kind. I am loving. I am strong. I am powerful. I'm confident. I am a great mother, right? The language could sound very different too. The language could sound like, I am fat, I am ugly, I have a big nose, nobody loves me, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, right? So where was the shift? Or where is the shift? Because when I first started learning about this all those years ago, 250 pounds, I did not stand in front of the mirror and tell myself I am beautiful. It was very hard for me to do that because I didn't believe that. It was very hard for me to be grateful when I didn't have the things that I saw what other people had. The shift happened when The Secret told me that I need to be grateful for the things that I don't have as though I already have them. So I opened up to a page in this book to read to you guys because, and you will see it also in my journal, 31 Days of Gratitude, Create the Life You Desire. The reason why I wrote this the way that it did is because in this journal, it was totally blank. So when you first told me to be grateful and I was 250 pounds, wanted to break up with my ex, didn't think I was going to survive, I barely knew what to be grateful for, right? But, oh shoot, I hope I didn't lose that page. Okay, I didn't. So the directions were on the left-hand side, you write all the things that you're grateful for in the now, as though you already have them, right? And then on the right-hand side, you write all of your manifestations. So the things that you have as though they're already yours in the same energy. Here in my book, I give you prompts. I give you examples. I give you things to be grateful for when you don't know what to be grateful for, right? Because sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to see. I've manifested the life that I've manifested because other people showed me the evidence. Hello, all my beautiful people joining us. So, for those of you joining us, this is my journal from 2009. This is the first step into manifestation. This is when I was first learning about gratitude and that creating the life I desire started with gratitude. And so on the left-hand side, the things that I was grateful for, I'm so grateful for everything I have. I'm truly grateful for my son and the joy he brings to others. I am grateful that I have raised him with so much love and respect and kindness. I'm so grateful for male attention, whatever it is. Oh boy. I didn't read the left side. I only read the right side. So this is interesting. I'm grateful for the great people who surround by me. Thankful that they are here to help me figure out my way. I am thankful for the roof over my head. I am thankful I have electricity and heat. I am thankful for the food we eat. I am grateful that I have a good car. I am thankful for my ex and his family. Okay, I was already broken up with the ex. I am thankful for all the feelings of pain because with that comes growth and happiness. I am grateful for my mom and my grandparents, my brother and my uncle. Oh, that's so interesting. That mirrors the post that I wrote the other night when I was having a really hard night, that I'm grateful for the pain because when the pain is so strong, you know that something good is coming. It's what happens all the time. But when we're in it, we forget and time starts to stretch and we don't realize that we're going to move through this and we're going to get to the other side. So now, my manifestations. I am so grateful that I'm 150 pounds and that I feel fabulous and look fabulous in my clothes. I am thankful that I am debt-free, which is not a good manifestation. I'll tell you why. I am grateful that I have a savings and have been able to bank a great retirement fund. I am so grateful for the man that keeps my bed warm at night. I am so grateful for his love and respect. I am thankful for my beautiful home with a great backyard. I am thankful for my jacuzzi tub and my long hot baths that I take at night. I am thankful for all the work that I get and the money that is brought in to help me. Okay, so you could see I'm in amateur manifesting because I'm in and out. The word debt-free, why do you not want to use the word debt-free? Because you don't want to use the word debt when you're in manifestation, right? I am grateful I am financially abundant. I am grateful I am able to pay all my bills on time. I am grateful that after I pay my bills, I have so much money left over to enjoy my life with, right? That's the kind of language that you want to use in your manifestation. And see, this is the great thing about this time of year that I love is that we get to spend a lot of time in gratitude together and somebody is here to review your manifestations and I'll tell you about that in a few minutes. But what I want you to see and understand is that when you're watching people's lives and you're wondering like, how are they living through that right now, right? Like, how is all of this stuff like happening for them right now? Because this is since 2009, right? The manifestation started since 2009, where how many years later? 15 years later. So, how many journals like this do I have? How many lists of manifestations do I have? How many full moons did I put the energy out there with the moon, right? So, what you're seeing now is a compound of years and years and years of manifestations that are coming true, right? This didn't all just happen overnight, but sometimes that's how it feels, right? It feels like we're watching people and all of a sudden, like they start to pop overnight, but that's not how it happens. Like the energy happens little by little all of the time, right? So if you ever read The Secret or watched The Secret says to, like, there's like a little kid who wants a bike, and he like is grateful for his bike and he manifests the bike, and that's how it happens. Manifestations come to us when we least expect it, especially when we feel the thing, we know that it's ours, and we're able to detach and let go of it. And if you saw my post yesterday about my money stories, I still have a lot of money stories. There's a lot of generational, ancestral stuff that I have to live through. When I was in my 20s, I sold a franchise company. I had sold 150 franchises in a 14-month period. And a lot of those franchises went bankrupt. And I took on the responsibility of that. I felt that because I sold them something that didn't work, that it was somehow my responsibility. And so throughout my life, I have had a lot of money stories. I also grew up in a Russian family where gifts were cash. And so I created a story that I don't like cash and I don't like receiving money. And so this whole phase of my life is really rewriting the story of money and finances. But what I've learned along the way and along this journey is it's the money things that are always the ones that create this catalyst of change. And it's not about the money, it's about the belief in yourself, the belief in the universe, the belief in God's source, the energetic that your desires are on its way, right? But like with the money, right? If you didn't grow up with money, or if you had a lot of money and it was taken from you, or if you have any kind of money stories and it comes down to paying $100, paying $1,000, paying any kind of dollars, you may not want to do that. And so I feel a lot of guilt around tipping. I used to work in the restaurant industry, so I lived on tips. So there was a part of me for a long time that I used to tip a lot of money because I felt like I got tipped, I wanted to tip. But then service has become shit. So like, why do I have to tip for shit service, right? So I go like in and out of like, do I tip and do I not tip? Because in receiving, in living in all of your desires, you have to give. You have to be able to give, and you have to be able to give without regret, without remorse, right? So all those years ago when I was living on food stamps and I'm learning about all of this money stuff, I was told the next time you are asked to give, that you need to give, right? And so I was like at CVS and at the register, they were like, do you want to donate $1 to whoever? And, single mom on food stamps, the story would be, no, I don't want to do that because I don't have the money, right? But that day I said, yes, I gave the dollar. Right. And then something came in the mail for the Lakota Indian school or whatever, and it was asking for a donation. And so I mailed them whatever it was, $5, $10, I don't remember what it was, but I actually mailed them the money. And all these years later, they are on my list of donations. They send me beautiful dream catchers every year and all kinds of things. And I have always donated to them because it reminds me of where I was all those years ago. So whenever you see an opportunity to give, especially when you don't think you have it to give, that's when the catalyst happens. If you didn't read my post yesterday, I was leaving the hotel that I was at and I went to go leave housekeeping money. I had left $10 the day before and I had $16 left. And I was like, do I give 6 or do I give 10? And I heard give 10. And a lot of times I'll struggle with this voice in my head. And a lot of times I'll choose to give less. This time I gave the 10 and I heard good job. And within an hour, I had an old patient call me and told me that she got insurance checks for me and that she needed to forward them to me, right? So that $4 difference was the difference of hundreds of dollars for me, right? Because I did something that felt uncomfortable for me in the moment, but I did it without attachment. I didn't harp on it. I didn't think about it. And boom, just like that, it was returned to me. Just like that, it gets returned to you, right? It doesn't always happen like that. Some of these manifestations took a really long time, right? Like I was grateful for my bathtub, the bathtub that you're always seeing in my stories. It took me, I think, 8 or 9 years from the day that I started manifesting a bathtub to actually submerge my entire body into a bathtub. Imagine gaining 100 pounds, being pregnant, and sitting in one of those little apartment bathtubs that was throwing water over my stomach. So you have to give to receive. You have to forgive in order to play in this game. If you are walking around in resentment, if you are walking around angry, if you are walking around sad, if you're always offended, if you're always, not in a good mood, you're not going to be manifesting good things, right? Forgiveness is the key to all of this. You can have the gratitude, but if you don't have the forgiveness, you're not going to have the full combination of power that you need. Because in order to manifest your every desire, you have to tip the scales of positive to negative, right? So like people made the mistake when I was the goddess of gratitude thinking that I was positive 100% of the day. It's like impossible, right? But if you're going through my news feed and you don't know me as a person, you would actually think that I'm happy 100% of the day, right? Because on our news feed, it's rainbows and unicorns, and this is what I'm doing, and this is the breakthrough I had, right? Like I'm not telling you every single problem that I'm living through. But the forgiveness piece is so huge. It starts with you. Forget about everybody else that you need to forgive out there in the world. Forgiveness starts with you. Because guilt and shame is the greatest punishment of all time. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you, and you know this. And tell me in the comments if you can relate. If you feel guilt and you feel shame, your best friend could call you the biggest asshole in the world, and like that means nothing because your guilt and shame is going to trump those negative words, right? So guilt and shame comes from this place of I'm not perfect. I'm not in control. And the thing is that there is no perfect. There's perfect moments, but there is no perfect life. If there was a perfect life, we wouldn't be here. We would be in that energetic field of bliss and happiness. We didn't have to come live in these human bodies. The whole point of this human body experience is to feel. It's to know what it feels like to have the contrast. You can't have happy without sad. You would never know what it really feels like to be happy until you feel that feeling of sad. You will never know that feeling of blissful happiness unless you feel that anger and rage, right? So these emotions are necessary, but the whole beauty of life is learning how to move through these emotions quickly, right? And radical forgiveness has given me the best freedom I could ever describe to you ever. Because forgiveness is not for the other person. You're not forgiving them. You're forgiving the situation. You're forgiving their humanness. You're forgiving the fact that they may have had a really shitty upbringing and then they got in front of you. Or maybe they lost a family member, or maybe they, there is no excuse for other people's venom. But forgiveness comes from the fact that you may have done the same thing, right? At some point. And so you have to find forgiveness for other people, because if you haven't been that way, you just never know if you're going to be at some point. right? But I would love to meet someone who could tell me that they are their best self 24/7. And I'm also looking for a recovering yeller. So if anybody is a recovering yeller, I'm looking for one of those too. That's what I'm working on in my world, is to not yell, to keep the passion at a lower voice. So, forgiveness work starts with self. Once you start forgiving yourself, you start to forgive the people around you, and you start to have compassion for the people around you. And it doesn't mean that you have to have relationships with all of these people. It just means, oh, there's a recovering yeller. That makes me so happy. Every single person that I've asked, they're either like, no, I still yell, or they're like, no, I never yelled. So thank you for saying that, Danielle. There is hope. I am on day 2 of no yelling. Well, I'm actually more than day 2, but I'm day 2 around my family without yelling. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. So, and in my gratitude, I am grateful that I am calm. I am grateful that I am peaceful. I am grateful that the right words come out of my mouth. I am grateful that I am kind when I speak, right? For a lot of you that have been in my world for a long time, you know that that wasn't always the case, right? Like, I can be vicious and I can spew venom, and I have the power to do that with my words. But the awareness of that is very big now, right? And in everything we say, there's a karmic attachment that's going to bring that back to us. That is the whole point with the whole gratitude piece, right? I am grateful in the present tense. You're summoning the things that you want, right? You're already telling the universe, I already have this. I already live like this. This is already mine, right? Which is the life that you are seeing on your feed now when you're watching me. This is the life that I am living. Because if you go back and you read this little book right here, From Food Stamps to First Class, you're going to see a very different story. You're going to see the pain. You're going to see the struggle. You're going to see that whole side of the story, right? So there's hope wherever you are. Wherever you are. Doesn't matter how old you are. And this is where that whole human design piece comes in. If you guys missed my free masterclass last week, go sign up for it. Go to my link tree and grab that masterclass. Start learning about yourself, because we spend our whole lives conditioned into thinking that we're supposed to act and behave in a certain way. And then when we start to understand that that's not actuality, that's not truth. That's not real. Like, real life is not going to school from, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and having a lunch break at a certain time and raising your hand to pee, right? That mirrors what regular life looks like for a lot of people working a 9 to 5 who only get that hour lunch break and blah, blah, blah. But that's not the way that we were meant to be here. We didn't come down with our contract with God and be like, I want to suffer and work for somebody else and be miserable and sad and feel unloved and feel like I'm not enough and feel like I have no friends and feel like nobody supports me, right? Who does not feel like that? That's how we're conditioned to feel. We're conditioned to feel like something is wrong with us, and that's it, that something is wrong with us, right? But I guarantee you that most of the people that you're walking around with think that something is wrong with them. But we're actually perfectly imperfect. Every single one of us. We are perfectly imperfect. And when you learn the whole human design piece, it like starts to give you that confidence of, I am stepping into this world as I am, right? And some people are going to love me and some people are not. And you have to get really comfortable with the some people are not, which was really hard for me because I'm a recovering people pleaser. I want everybody to like me. I want everybody to love what I have to say, but that's just not reality. And it doesn't even matter if you did everything perfect. Somebody's not going to like it. There's actually people in this world who don't like chocolate. And so if you don't like chocolate, sometimes you're not going to like me. Right? Because I'm bitter and I'm sweet and I'm all the things in between. And so you take it or you leave it. So the power of gratitude, it starts right now. It's the beauty of it. You don't need anything. You don't need a journal. You don't need a book. You don't need anything. All you got to do is start being grateful. I'm grateful I got to spend this time today with Shilamida. I'm grateful that I learned something new today. I'm grateful that I heard the things that I already knew, but this landed deeper. I'm grateful that every one of my desires are on its way. I'm grateful for this life that I am living. I'm grateful for my breath that keeps me alive. I am grateful for this body that I was given. I am grateful that I keep her healthy. I am grateful that I am on my way to living out my every desire. I am grateful for it all, right? Do you hear the language of my gratitude? I have to tell you that since I wrote this book, the language of gratitude has changed significantly, and there is another book coming soon. So take a look at that. All of these are available on Amazon, by the way. So, what I've got for you today is the month of November is coming. And in the United States, we celebrate Thanksgiving in November. Canada just had their Thanksgiving. And all those years ago, when I was first getting into this mode and writing the books and getting all the things going, I wondered, like, on Thanksgiving, everybody stops to be grateful. I know not everybody is grateful. It's not a happy day for everybody, but most of the people will stop and they will profess their gratitude for each other. They will profess their gratitude for life, for all the things. And then on Black Friday, it goes back to the way that it was, and people are fighting over TVs at Walmart and trampling each other, right? And the gratitude is gone. And so I decided, what if we were grateful for 31 days for the entire month of November, and we go into December? Because what I found out in my research in writing this book is it takes 21 days, or in some schools of thought, it takes 28 days to actually make or break a habit. So I went 31 days so that we could move into the actual habit, right? And 31-day challenge starts on November 1st. It is a private group here on Facebook where we will spend the entire month together. There will be 3 lives with me. I will go live on November 1st at night. I will drop another live into the group halfway through, and we will do a celebration call at the end. It is the most magnificent month on social media. For anybody who's ever been there, please let me know in the comments. Let everybody know that they love being in there. There are prizes because I love prizes. This year we have Kyra Casey. She is releasing her new book, Rich Bitch Money Goals. Tomorrow, no, on Halloween actually. And so she is going to donate a autographed book. My beautiful sister Homaya is going to do a voice activation for you guys. And my girl Lauren from Honeybee Creations has made the most beautiful gratitude charms ever. So those are physical. You're going to get them at your home. So all you got to do is be grateful for 31 days. The beauty of this is it's not just gratitude. It's all the things that I've talked about today. So we're going to do forgiveness work. We are going to do the giving work. We are going to practice receiving. We are going to send love and blessings and be in this energetic for the entire month. There are prompts every single day. The beauty of doing this in a group setting is if you go put all of your gratitude under the post, I will actually be in and out of the group reading those. And when I tell you to manifest, I'm going to help you in that energy. I'm going to help you create those things. Sometimes it's one word. Sometimes it's one word that's messing up our entire creation. And so having that guide, also seeing what other people are manifesting, that helps too. In the beginning, people would ask me like, am I allowed to be grateful for the same things that you're grateful for? Yes, please be grateful for it. That is the whole point of our existence. By the way, that is the whole point of why I post my entire life on social media. Because if somebody didn't do it for me, I wouldn't know that it's possible, right? I knew that it was possible. You hear all the stories of, coach slept in a car, becomes multimillionaire. Coach spends their last dollar buying homeless man a sandwich and becomes multimillionaire. It's like story after story after story of the evidence. And then it helps you to tap into that belief that this is possible for me, right? This is possible for me. Because it is possible for you. I want you to know that whatever you see in this physical plane, it is possible for you. It may take time. I saw this beautiful video the other day of this 90-year-old woman that said that you have to believe until the end. She said that she wanted to be a fashion journalist and it's in Paris, and at 69 years old, she was offered a position to go be a fashion journalist in Paris. So imagine that she decided that when she was 35, and at 55 she gave up on that dream, right? Some things take time. Some things take more time than others. And so patience is part of the game. And in the time that you're patient, that's the time that you get to do that inner spiritual work. It is the time that you get to reflect. It is the time that you get to forgive. It is the time that you get to move forward. I have had to face some very ugly truths this week. Very, very ugly truths. It has not been fun hearing the things that I've been told and needing to do the work to move through it. But I'm human and I make mistakes and I'm doing the best that I can. I met a man who is 68, discovered he was an artist, and 4 years later he's getting $350,000 for a painting. That's a great story, Tony Ann. I love that. All right. Oh my gosh, there were so many comments. Let's go through. I stopped yelling about the time I got sick. Okay, that's good. My Jersey Italian comes out. Sometimes, though, we do our best. I write gratitude every night. It is a work in progress. Okay, so I write gratitude every night. I'm so glad you said that, Danielle, because the thing with the gratitude, it's not just in I am grateful. It's not just in the writing, it's in the feeling, right? So that's why I say you don't even need the journal. It's nice to have the journal to go back and look, right? But it's in the feeling. I would rather you close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, take a few deep breaths, and feel the feeling of gratitude. What did it feel like today to go through your day? What does it feel like to be on this call with me today? What does it feel like to have your every desire, right? It's that feeling. We want to attach to the feeling. We'll do a lot of that. It is a work in progress. My main goal, calming myself in those moments, is key. I am an emotional person in general, and I come with so much love and a huge heart. Yes, you do, Sonia. I love you. And I totally get that. I bless and release those who can't accept chocolate. That's wild. There are people who do not like chocolate. I know, but they exist. And so if they exist, then we have to know that when somebody doesn't like us, that it's not about me. I like me. I do. I'm very comfortable with me. I enjoy myself. I think I'm funny. I like being in my own company. I enjoy being around people, right? And so if there's someone who doesn't like me for being me, there's nothing I can do about that besides not be with that person. And that's okay because there's so many other people that are there to be with. Okay. I'm gonna go and I will respond to all the comments so that we keep this short for those people on the replay. I know it's hard to rewatch stuff. For those of you that joined the challenge, yay! I'm so happy to see you in there. For those of you that are not joining us for the challenge, please go out and just be grateful. And if you want to join us, we will be there. For anybody who wants an HD reading, I still have half price mini sessions at 111. Any of the books are available on Amazon. You can also grab them on my website. It's shilamida.com. I love you guys so much. I hope that you enjoyed this. I'm here to spread the light and the wisdom because my greatest desire is for all of your dreams to come true. I love watching you win. I love watching you win because when you win, you show me what's possible for my life, and everybody winning makes this life a better place to live. So I thank you for being here today. I love you, and I'll see you on the internet. Bye.